So here's one that might get your gander a-quacking. So when I first played Hollow Knight, like many others before me, I encountered this friendly little fellow down the dank gold deepness and curiously followed him down to his wine cellar where he promptly kicked my friggin' ass. I have vivid memories of attempting to fight Nosk here over and over again for about an hour before I just frankly gave up and looked up if there was any kind of strategy to him. Well, as it turns out, he was a bit too much for my puny little dumbass nail at the time, so I said, "So long, gay Bowser," and gave it another go later when I leveled up, as the gamers say. But even upon my return, while I did have a much easier time with him, it was still somewhat of a challenge for me, and has since stood out in my mind as one of those more challenging bosses in the game. Even now, on repeat playthroughs, while I am far more experienced, I still prepare a few nail upgrades ahead of time, just to be safe. But you know what the most interesting thing about this is? If I had told anybody about that before this update, I would have been laughed out of the room, because until Hidden Dreams, Nosk was considered one of the most laughable disappointments of a pushover boss in the game. So believe it or not, when the game first came out, Nosk only had 2 attacks, the one where he runs backwards and forwards, and the one where he plays a bit of impromptu hopscotch. And yeah, I can totally see why this would be a disappointing boss. I mean, after all that build up, running and jumping can only be so scary. But in this update, they added 2 brand new moves to his pull. The first being Eruption, where he sprays his icky paint like goop all over the dang joint, and the other is Rain, where he cleans out the gutters in the ceiling. You see, these are the kind of juicy, interesting details that prompted me to do this series, as until I did my research on these past updates, I would have never known that he was considered the sleep paralysis demon equivalent of a Goomba. Like, up until this update, Nosk was considered a joke, a buffoon even, and a letdown of a cool build-up. And to be fair, there are many people who still feel this way, but my first experience was untainted by expectation, and as a result, will forever be a memorable one.